Oh, me too.
Specifically because of your hoodies and shirts.
Yeah.
Because your shirts run big, and the purple hoodie specifically, the one I wear a lot, rides up.
Yeah, that's a Gildan.
So I can wear them together.
All right, ready?
Yup.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Underwater FlyZone Podcast. This is a part 2 episode. I don't know if you guys have seen part 1, but if you haven't, just stop what you're doing and go watch that one real quick for me. We got Spencer Harris back in the building today. How you doing, bro?
What is up? I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing good too. I'm doing good too. I want to just take a pause right here and give a couple shout outs before we get into this because I will forget. First things first, shout out my guy Isaac. I just met at the gym like 20 minutes ago. I was about to walk out, and this guy, he kept eyeing me throughout the whole time. And we go to the gym together quite often. So like I see this guy, but he kept eyeing me. And he came up to me and he was like, yo, do you have a podcast and like a clothing brand? And isn't it called like Underwater or something? And I was like, I have no clue what you're talking about, bro. And he looked at me and was like, okay, my bad, dude. There's just this guy, and I was like, I'm joking, dude. Check it out. And I'm wearing Refuse to Be Enemies Underloose. I was like, yo, I got the merch on right now. It is
That's
me.
sick.
And he was like, no way, dude. He was like, I know you. And he's wearing a Ray Peck shirt.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, let's go, dude. I'm
dope.
coming to your school February 12th. Ray Peck people, I'm coming February 12th to the high school, putting on a 3-session event. So the whole school's gonna get to hear it. It's gonna be awesome.
That's super cool.
But so shout out to you, Isaac. He said I said I gotta go. I can't talk. I gotta go. I got a podcast. And he was like, I'm gonna watch it. So if you're watching it, what's up, dog?
Shout out.
What's up, dog? And then I also want to give a shout out to my people out at West Nottoway in Burlington Junction. I'm repping the Nottoway Valley Thunder hoodie today. A lot of people don't know this, but when I was creating this clothing brand, I was actually doing my student teaching assignment at West Nottoway. I went to Northwest Missouri State to become a PE teacher, and I was doing my student teaching so I could graduate at West Nottoway as we were building the clothing brand portion of this. We had done merch drops before, but it was not a clothing brand. It was strictly podcast merch, you know? Mm-hmm. And I was actually building the drop that ended up being our design that you see today, the Your Life is Worth Living graffiti look. We were drawing that up, you know, going over samples, doing the hats, the trucker hats we made.
Yeah.
I would be getting in trouble by Dr. Barnes. Sorry, Dr. Barnes, if you're watching. The superintendent there, he would like tell my teacher, he'd be like, hey, you need to tell him to get off his phone. Like he's on his phone too much. Every time I look in, he's on his phone. And he wasn't wrong. I was like, valid, bro. I'm literally on my phone. Like I was on my phone. I hope I did good for y'all. But I was like just grinding, and all the kids at that school really got to be a part of it. I would always be asking them like, guys, what hat's better? What shirt's better? What design's better? And stuff like that. So that's a special place to me. And I got to speak there back in 2025 in September. So I just want to give a shout out. They gave me this hoodie. I went to their district championship game. Unfortunately, we took an L, but it was still fun to watch. So shout out to the Thunder, shout out to Nottoway Valley. And yeah, it was just kind of a special place for me. It was the place where I was building this whole thing out, and we got to kind of celebrate that together, and they kind of got to see it go from where it was to where it is today, and hopefully where it is today is nothing compared to where it's going to be going in the future, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, we got Spencer Harris in the building, bro. Give me and us a life update, because honestly, I don't think I've even talked to you much since the last time we recorded, for real.
Yeah, I mean, just going through the winter, there's less like time to meet up, and the brand has been exploding. So like it's been busy. It's been really, really cool. Like it's been blowing up in the best way. But yeah, no, I feel like we haven't seen each other. I mean, there's not too much that's that different necessarily in my life, but I mean, I'm still working still. Mm-hmm. We started talking about it before the podcast, but I would say the biggest thing that is an almost update is like we're within the next few months of hopefully having a house. Like
that's so awesome,
we're about to get like pre-approved for a loan. The thing is, we do go on a cruise in the middle of March. Mm-hmm. And so I think unless we find the perfect house before then, it'll probably be like late March or later. So that way it's after that. We don't have a lot of internet on a cruise, don't have to worry about it. But I would say it's the biggest almost update. And then my work, we're going to be in a new building in June, which is really cool because it's like it's a small, like local company. My wife's aunt and uncle are the owners, and it grew from like one guy in a truck to we're now about to have like our own store that is being built. Like I helped a little bit, not a ton, but I helped a little bit with like the design of it and that kind of thing. And so those are the two big things kind of coming over the hill for me.
That is awesome, dude. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, very, very cool. It's just south of 150 off of 71. So
I was going to say, is that in Belton? Wait.
It'll technically Grandview, but it's right
Okay.
right on the Belton Grandview line.
Yeah.
And the walls are going to start going up, I think, next week. It was going to be this week, but with the weather, I don't think it's happening. So you'll see the walls and start going up soon.
So when I drive down the highway, I look to the left, right, when I'm coming into Raymore, and I see this sign that says Icon Pools.
Yep.
That's
where it's going?
That's it?
Yeah,
Okay,
the sign just got taken down because it needed the space.
Okay.
But that exact spot, yep, that's where it's going.
I was like, there's no way that's a billboard. I always wondered what that was.
Yeah, so that was a
there.
sign. So we made the logo bigger so people just see Icon Pools,
Yeah.
but it said like coming soon or something like that.
Yeah.
On it.
Huh.
But
Well, that's awesome, dude.
Those are two big things.
Shout out Icon Pools. They got our iconic merch color. We got the Icon orange. He's repping it.
You probably can't even see it from there, but Foster made this drop totally unrelated. It was this, and then there was another one of the all blue shirts that was a similar blue, and I almost got that, but then I decided to get this because I was like, at that time, which now I have to only wear polos at work. But at that time, I could wear T-shirts.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I had to wear Icon. But I was like, this is orange. I get away with it.
Yeah.
I told Foster to name it Icon Orange so I can use that as, we're getting this brand recognition.
And that shirt never made it to the website, but if it would have been called the Icon Orange.
And we still talk about it as Icon Orange. And it does it, but it is the exact shade of orange. Like I bet if I did like the hex code color for it, it would be pretty much identical.
It's the same Pantone.
Which is so cool. So
that's awesome. Hey, we're going to bring that shirt back. I tried to bring it back last year, but I was not smart for some reason. I didn't do the right color blank shirt, so it wasn't the same. And I ended up just selling them on discount. So anyways, long story, but yeah, that shirt's coming back, the Icon Orange. But anyways, I'm in the same position, bro, trying to get a house. Not the same position. I'm probably looking at 2027, but I'm kind of in the same position where the house is on the horizon, and that's like my biggest goal right now is to get a house like ASAP.
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited. We are lucky enough in so many ways. We're in a good spot. McKenna makes good money. We both make good money for our age.
Yeah.
I am a trophy husband. McKenna makes more money than I am, but we're lucky enough to have good jobs we're not even 24 yet.
Yeah.
For the last 2 years after college, I've been living in her grandparents. They renovated their attic to be a studio apartment, essentially. And we have been we pay them a little bit a month, but way less than normal rent would be.
Yeah.
And we don't have to rush out to get a house. So we've spent 2 years with a ton of our savings going to that. And especially since the wedding and honeymoon, pretty much everything extra has been going to that. And there's absolutely no rush to get a house in the general scheme of life. Like renting, because if you're renting, your rent and if you pay utilities or whatever that is the most you pay a month for housing. Like landlord has to fix everything else.
Yeah.
When you buy a house, your mortgage and utilities is the least you're paying per month because you have to pay to fix everything. You have to pay like this and that. And so financially, you do have to be in a very secure place. But long term, it's good because every payment we make, could be money back in our pocket. I'm going to cut off the conversation there because we're getting very like old financial podcast conversation.
The Dave Ramsey,
but it is a really cool, mature thing to be able to be ready for.
Yeah, I'm excited to whenever because all of Macy's paycheck essentially just goes to our house, not our house, our apartment.
Okay.
And it's just like, man, I'm excited for like. Because, in a way, it's almost like when you have a house, it's like the money actually doesn't go away. Because once you sell the house, you kind of pretty much get it all back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you get back everything other than like the interest.
Yeah, exactly.
You pay after $100,000, you say that's 80-ish thousand or whatever that's in your pocket. Like that's a cool thing to know.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more pressure in the moment to have that long term be cooler.
Definitely, but yeah, we won't bore y'all with all this house talk.
Yeah. It is genuinely really exciting to me, but I understand that is such a it's not cool.
Yeah,
especially not your demographic. So like, let's talk about
it. Could be. I don't know who's watching this. Shout out to whoever's watching this. But yeah, I would imagine you're probably right. It's probably not demographic. But okay, so it's about to hit 10 minutes. Last time we basically you want to explain what we're doing?
Okay, so I had the idea last time. If you haven't watched, which you should, pause now, go back.
Yeah, go back
for the second time. We're doing that.
Other episodes.
Yeah, go to it. But I came with 5 categories.
Yeah.
And we talked about them and ranked them out of 10 for where we're at. And we said let's do a follow up in 6 or so months, which I think we're pretty close to.
I would
6
say,
on the dot.
yeah.
Let's see if this notes page, August 14th. Yeah, it's pretty close.
Yeah, I would say that's close enough.
And we said we're gonna check in 6 months, see where we're at. We haven't watched that old video. I don't think I maybe listened to it when it came out.
Yeah.
which was pretty close to when we recorded it, but I don't remember the numbers that we said. We haven't done that. We're going to talk about where we're at now without the bias of that. Then we're going to take our pause in the middle, go check what those numbers were, and come back and compare. But we talked about it before. Me and Foster can yap. This is probably my like 8th or so episode we've been on.
Probably more than that.
8, 10, something like that. Every single one of them, other than the one where there was 4 of us, has just like derailed early. And in a good way. It's great conversation. But we've come in with an idea and we've either not gotten to it or way later.
Exactly.
Like I think the last time was 45 minutes.
It was literally 45 minutes.
We started talking about it. And now, especially because we want to do this and compare. Yeah. I said about 10 minutes, let's turn. And he goes, 15. I said, here's actually what we probably should do. And this is what we did. At 10 minutes, we should start talking about turning so that by 15, we have a hard out without turning it. So
I say we jump into it right now, though. Let's do it.
Let's go into it.
Yeah, 5 categories. We're going to basically rank our, how we feel about these categories on a scale of what?
I think we did 1 out of 10.
Okay, 1 out of 10. Okay.
And if not, that's part of the enjoyment.
Exactly.
But I'm like 98% sure it was
I'm pretty
1 out of
sure.
10.
Why would we do anything else?
Yeah. And I think I don't know if I did decimal points. I'm doing decimal points this time. Like I'm a big vibes guy.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be like, it feels like a 7-2, you know? Because that's what it feels like. I don't think I did that the first time.
My thing too is like answering these questions, you could be asking me right now and I could say one thing and then I could feel different the next
I think that was actually a big part of what happened, because I'm just gonna go to get our numbers real quick, not the conversation. But I think that was one of your things specifically on this first one, which I'll jump right into it, was mental health / mental clarity. Okay. And I think your big thing, you were like, right now I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on and I'm not like stressed or angry, but like there's some effect there. But I think generally I'm pretty happy, and like that was part of your thing, was that balance. But mental health / mental clarity. So I'm gonna talk about where my head's at while I think about what that means for a number. Yeah. I do think, and this probably was true then, I still have like highs and lows. Yeah. And I think my goal for the last 2 years since out to college was basically just have my lows be less common and less low. Mm-hmm. My goal is not to always be at a high or always be happy. I think that is one, I think it's unrealistic. Yeah. And I think it's part of life, is the ups and downs. The highs are better because you're not always there. Yeah, exactly. And I do think that my lows are less common. I don't think my lows are necessarily higher than they used to be. I think my lows are still pretty low, but they're less common and they're shorter each time. Yeah. And I think that is huge for me. And my clarity about it is better. I'm more cognizant. I'm better about understanding where they came from and what spawns them. And I think that is a huge thing for me. I used to be in lows 75% of the time, no idea why, crippled by anxiety, can't breathe, just like tense, and half the time I couldn't point to why. Now I would say it's like maybe 25% of the time, but even that feels really high. And I usually can be like, okay, this thing caused this anxiety. This is where my brain is coming from. So I would say for me, that puts me at like an 8.4, 8.5, because like it's not perfect, and perfect isn't always at a high, but perfect is just like, I feel good. And I don't always feel good. Like I still have anxiety attacks and things like that. Yeah. But like, I feel pretty good about where I'm at mentally. And the clarity side of it, I think, is even bigger. The mental health side is a little lower, but the clarity of why I'm where I'm at feels really good. Yeah, you know why you feel what you feel, essentially. Yeah, good or bad or in the middle. Like I'm very clear-minded with my emotions, or at least a lot better. I feel like I can relate to that, definitely. Because, like, back in high school, you had I felt like I had no idea why I felt the way I felt and stuff like that. And, like, nowadays, looking back, it's like, that's the mark of maturity. You're like, wow, I really feel like I understand what's going on with myself. But one thing we forgot to say is make sure to put your number down in the comments as well. You got to follow along. This is not just us talking. We want to be interactive. And if you happen to comment on the first one, because I know some people did. They did. Go back, put that here. Put your scores now, then go copy and paste it to kind of compare where you're at as well. Yeah, I wonder what you were at the first time. 8.4 is a pretty good score. I would almost guarantee lower, but I don't, not necessarily significantly, but I definitely think this is higher. Where do you? So you said you relate to like which part of it, the understanding of it, or the improvement of like not having lows as often? I think that for me, I now understand exactly why I feel what I feel. Like almost always I'm like, okay, I feel this because of this. But I think that for me, when it comes to my mental health and where I'm at,
Dude, I don't know what I said last time. I genuinely don't know. I feel like I might say a number that's lower than last time, but that doesn't mean anything's going on. I'm feeling good. The only thing for me right now is like, so you see that calendar behind those shirts? That calendar, I'd be looking at that calendar and I'm just like, I got a lot ahead. And I used to just feel like excited by that and just only feel excited and, let's go get it. But now I look at the calendar and I'm like, okay, this isn't a sneaker event pop-up I'm going to. This is a talk in front of 2,000 kids that and when I go talk to a school, I'm responsible for kids in that room that are hearing about suicide for the first time. So I'm not just going and just yapping. Like, I have to go in with a plan and execute, and I have to make sure that I present it in a way that, first of all, is deeply impactful, and it really is something that they're going to remember, and it's going to hit in the right spot, you know what I'm saying? But also, it's not going to be so deep that they don't understand that there's a positive on the other side of it, and there's like, you could overcome. So it's like this balance, and it's just such an important thing, because like last year when I looked at my schedule, it was pop up, this fun thing, that fun thing, all this stuff is like a good time. Now it's like tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I will be at Archie High School tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And Friday I'll be at Ray Peck East Middle School at 8 a.m. and then South Middle School at 10 a.m. And so I'm like, that's 3 things coming up in the next 48 hours that I have to nail it. I can't show up and just, I was off today. No. Can't be off because some of these kids have never heard about these things we're talking about. Yeah. So it's like a big responsibility. So that's been giving me some weight on my shoulders, honestly. So I would say I'm like at an 8, no point, nothing, just an 8, because I'm grateful for these opportunities. I am still very excited. Like, I'm genuinely so excited, but I'm also like understanding the importance of what is about to take place. This is not for fun. This is like a serious thing that I've worked so hard to get to. That's the other thing. I've worked so hard to get to where I'm at. Like everything you've ever seen with Underwater FlyZone, like this was the end goal. And like now, like all these opportunities are here right in front of me. And, it's like the 8 Mile song, lose yourself. It's like, you got your one shot. Do not miss your chance. This is the one chance. Like if I go out tomorrow and it goes great, that could turn into 10 more opportunities to impact 10,000 more kids. If it goes bad tomorrow, that could be the end of this whole thing for the class, 2, or I think that's even a class 1 school. I think it's a class 2 school. I don't know. But Archie's a small school, and, they all talk. So if it goes great, I'm going to Archie tomorrow because the Maryville one went amazing. And they called Archie. Yeah, exactly. So if Archie goes good, I might go to Clinton. If Clinton goes good, Springfield, boom, just word of mouth, just spreading. Right. It's been good so far. I just got to make sure it continues to go good. And it would benefit both myself and benefit the kids because, like I said, there's kids coming to that room tomorrow that are going to be significantly impacted, and I need to make sure that impact is the correct impact. Because I could go out there tomorrow and it could be very depressing and everyone just like vibes are killed. Everyone's like, wow, that sucked, Or I could go out tomorrow and it could be so fun and hype, but no one actually understands the meaning of what we're talking about. So it's like I have to find that balance of like, this is not just fun assembly. We got out of class. This is also not like, let me come just like kill the vibes and just be so depressing. Like, no, It's the middle ground. It's like, we're going to get deep, but we're also going to have a good time. One of my favorite things is whenever someone leaves and they say, that was really deep, but the one word I would use to describe it was fun. I'm like, that's awesome. That's exactly what I want.
10 times out of 10, I would want you and the way you speak about mental health, suicide awareness, everything to be the first exposure for anyone I know. Because one, you come from a place of like, you understand it, and especially around that teenager age, like you understand that specific age's emotions around it. And so it's really relatable and understandable, but you also, just the way you're talking about it there, you care about the message you're saying. You're not coming in. I think sometimes people can be disconnected and they come from it from a good place, but it's just so disconnected in a message that either doesn't relate to them and it's like, okay, whatever, like what do I take from that? Or it is super scary and you understand that balance. And even if there's not a perfect way to do it, but just caring and understanding, that comes across in the way you talk about it. Even if you don't say that, you know what they can want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not, you're not going to bat 1,000. Like that's just not, some people will leave there and it's like, okay, it was just an assembly for school, definitely. But you're going to affect such a large majority of those kids because you care and you understand. And so like, I would want, like if I had kids at that age, I want Foster Huggins. I want Underwater FlyZone as a brand to be their exposure to suicide over myself. Like I would rather you teach my kid about it than me.
I appreciate that, dude. Honestly, I'm going to make a reel out of that and send it to some schools, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. I don't think I got a reel made out of my last few TikToks. I think it's been a few podcasts.
I will say I don't think anyone really has. One guy made his own reel and collabed me on it.
Well, I don't think I've said which that was not my intention there, which is probably the point.
I understand.
But I haven't had reelable content my last few. I'll be honest, we get to about 45 minutes, it would have been the back of my mind. I go, oh, I need to get on the Instagram. I need something here.
I need to spit some
I need a
facts.
moment. Yeah.
Well, what I need is some time to actually edit some reels because that's what I don't have. I was gonna get an AI software to do it for me, but I did like the test run and it shot me back some videos. I'm like, these aren't even good. Like I want greatness on the page.
I think that's the type of thing that like I have mixed feelings about AI. Like back and forth. Like I'm not just against it, but I'm not just for it. I think that's the type of thing that like the touch of someone caring about it and doing it, you can tell isn't there if it just generates it.
AI will just pick up on something that it thinks is a good story, but it's like that was in the middle of the story and it jumped to a different story. Like what are we talking about? But you said one thing that is so there's two reasons I'm at kind of like an 8. The first is like the kind of like the weight I'm feeling on my shoulders of like, gosh, I need to kill this, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The second thing is what you said, how 1,000 kids come and listen to me talk. There is not going to be 1,000 kids that loved the experience. It's just not even possible. Like it's like out of 1,000, if all 1,000 were to just love the whole thing, that's not even possible. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a couple of kids that were like, oh, that was lame. Oh, that sucked or something like that, which that's fine. But it does get to me a little bit. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why.
That's fair. I mean, you want to do well. Yeah. Even if you have 1,000 kids and 4 don't like it, so you have 996 people who are just deeply impacted. Yeah, you're gonna think to yourself, what can I do to reach those 4 the next time?
Yeah. So, well, and then out of the 4, probably 2 of the 4 didn't like it because it hit somewhere so deep, and they don't like to go that deep.
Absolutely.
And then the other 2 probably are just like in a stage where they think they're too cool for this conversation. Absolutely. And one day, that's what I always think.
And there's nothing you could have done for those 4, but you're going to try and think of it. By the way, I'm not texting. I realized I should put in our notes our scores this time because we're not going to remember them when we go back.
Dude, if anyone somebody watching that close is like, he's on it.
What did I say? 8-4?
Yeah, you said 8-4 and I said 8.
8-4. Cause I want to mark them this time so I can go back, put them in, compare the 2. Yeah. Because I'm gonna forget.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. But yeah, I feel like I just right there. I feel like I just said some stuff that I needed to say that I have not said. Like, you need to. That's why think I love doing podcasts.
You need to, there is absolutely an amount of like saying something, even if you have thought it, but saying it makes it more real.
Yeah, dude. Like, I love doing podcasts just because me and Macy always say this. Every time we do a podcast, it's like a little therapy session.
Absolutely.
Like, I didn't even know what I just said I needed to say, but I kind of feel a little bit of a lift off my shoulders. But then again, I think, like, okay, I'm still going to talk to these schools tomorrow, so it comes back. But I don't know. I just enjoy talking.
I mean, because I went to, like, real therapy. Yeah. You talk about stuff that, like, I knew was true, but until I was, like, forced to talk about it, I didn't know was true. Yeah. So that, like, that anxiety, even if you have... You probably have talked about some of that, but if you hadn't, it's like now you're talking through the realism of why a lot of times anxiety is either like protecting you from something you've had happen before or the potential of something that you really haven't had happen before. Yeah. So you're protecting yourself from people who you've seen not be impacted or the potential chance of this new thing because you don't know where it could go. But you talk through worst case scenario. At that age, it is a lot of people who either it is too real or it's like, who cares? And in both of those scenarios, you can't make the impact you're trying to while like also doing something there. Because the too cool people, there's nothing you can do. Definitely. And the people who it's too real, if you get less real, then it doesn't make the impact to the other 900 something. The
too cool people, I just feel like I'm gonna run into on Friday at the middle schools.
Probably.
I think I'm gonna get a lot of that.
There's gonna be a 14-year-old kid who thinks he's a star basketball player who's gonna get cut from JV a sophomore year.
A couple of our kids from the Bananas will be there.
Really?
Yeah.
That's and most of the people it will impact. There's one kid who is a star basketball player. Maybe he does end up being a stud, but like he's the like star senior quarterback, but as an 8th grader.
Yeah.
And so like he's too cool for school.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be a girl that he likes that he's never gonna talk to, but he'll hug once in the hallway, like sitting there, and he wants to look cool.
The one thing I really love about not on that
kid.
One of the many things I really love about talking to high schools recently is it always feels like that kid that you just would kind of assume like the quarterback, like that guy. So far in my experience, which I've only talked to like a couple schools this year, but that kid has been like all in. Like,
that's awesome.
And if that kid's all
that
in,
really helps.
all these kids are all in.
Absolutely. Because like that, I was more like the stereotype of that person.
Of
but
course.
there are so many people that aren't. Like I remember in our grade, like an example that comes to mind really, like Jordan Germain. Yeah. Like him and Kean were like our stud basketball players. I mean, Jordan just went and played pro for a bit until he hit a bunch of knee stuff. Looking out for you, Jordan. Journey's awesome, but he is such a genuinely kind, cool person, and he was an example of he could be kind of cocky and like, oh, I'm the stud, my dad's the coach, but he wasn't.
Not at all.
And so that's an example, and people followed his lead. And honestly, same with Kean. Kean was a super cool dude.
Yeah.
And that those are good examples of that kind of person that were in my grade and at my high school.
For sure. All right. Anyways, next.
So the next topic is relationships, and this is not just romantic relationships, but like friendships, like personal relationships in life. So I started the last one. I'll let you start this one. I
will say, me and Macy, we haven't done any podcasts in a while, but we're better than we ever been, honestly. And every day is just better, you know. Every day is better. I don't know, dude. Me and Macy are just. I just think about it all the time. I'm like, how did I get so blessed? How did I get so lucky, dude? Because truly, like, she's at home making dinner right now. Like, when I go home, it's just gonna be boom made. And like the other day, my camera guy couldn't make it. I was like, Macy, can you get off school early? She did. Boom. We went up to Maryville and did a whole event. And she's like, what do you need? What do you need? Like, does all this stuff. I'm just, wow. It's That's crazy. So cool. And then on the flip side, hopefully I'm providing the same value to her because I know she's giving me all the value, you know? Mm-hmm. And then as far as friendships go, so Macy, like 20,000 out of 10, you know?
I think that's about the same answer you gave last time.
Yeah. But then when it comes to like friends and stuff, you know, I feel bad, but I still just feel like I haven't really had time for friends. And like that sounds bad, but here's kind of my thinking. It's a Dave Ramsey quote. He said, live like no one else so that one day you can live like no one else. You know, like live like no one else today so one day you can live like no one else in the future. It's kind of the same mindset there. Essentially, right now, I'm just grinding. You know, I'm trying to build something that in my future I can really like live like no one else then as well. Because right now, I don't know if you would say this, but I feel like I personally can't relate with anybody. I don't know who to relate with out here because I'm never free. You know, I feel bad. Like, I just don't have time. Like, Carson and Jack just asked me the other day, they're like, Foster, are you trying to go sledding? It was Sunday night. I'm like, I can't. We did the cheetah hoodies. I was like, I'm dropping off orders. They're like, bro, you left at 10 a.m. I'm like, I know. I'm still dropping off orders. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's just like my priorities, essentially, friends are just not at the top right now. I'm hoping one day they could come back, but the way I see it is I'd rather sacrifice my time today, and then when I have kids, I can be more present for them than the opposite, you know? So I don't know. I still love all my friends. and they hopefully they know that, you know what I'm saying? Like, my real friends know that. Like, I remember, like, we texted the other day, and I was like, bro, I've been so busy. And you're like, dude, get it. I'm glad. You said something like, I'm glad you're busy. Like, that's a good thing. Yeah. So I hope all my friends understand. There's no love lost. I'm just grinding right now. I gotta get a number to that. Yeah. Oh, a number? Oh, okay. So Macy already said
20,000.
Let's just take that out. Yeah.
Mark that down. No, we're doing it separate. We're doing two.
Okay. So, and then friends, I'd go like a 4.5. Literally like a 4.5.
I also think for you, it's like all of your close friends that you care about, because not in a rude way, you have a close-knit group of people that you really care about, and those are the people that you're reminiscing not having a connection with. Yeah. Then there are the outer people who, like, you enjoy spending time with, but you don't feel guilty for not being close. Yeah. That close-knit of friends, I know all, if not most of them. I can almost guarantee that all of them are happy for where you're at with what you're doing. Even if in that moment, Carson and Jack are like, oh, we'd like him to be sledding, but they understand the big picture, especially them two. They get what you're doing. And that's why I've liked helping at a few events this last year, because it feels like my way to, it's a way for us to reconnect. Like, do the podcast, do the brand. Like, I like that, buying into that and feeling like I'm helping you. You feel like you're able to have that friendship connection. Like, it is absolutely like a two-way relationship there, and being able to help the brand grow. And so I think people understand that a little bit of time sacrifice for you to have your dream come true. Like any true friend, I would never see all of my closest friends again if it meant all of their dreams came true. And so, and it is absolutely the same with you. Like, if I never saw you again, but that meant Underwater FlyZone got to do amazing, that I would make that trade 100 times out of 100, because you get to be fulfilled by that. And that is what is important to me, is helping the people in my life feel better.
And I can relate with that as well. I agree with what you said. If I would take the same trade. If I never got to see anybody again, but all their dreams came true, I would take that same trade. So I think in a way that makes you a really great friend, you know? So maybe I should not be so hard on myself, but at the same time, I just know where I'm at right now. But one day I believe I will be like a 20 out of 10 here. But just right now is like, it's just not there. It is what it is. But my care for people, my love for people, it's still 20 out of 10, million out of 10.
And I think that's easy to see in just what you're doing as well. Like, you wouldn't do a brand like this if you didn't care about people, you know? Like,
that would be tough.
It's an easy cop out, but especially now that you're doing so much more speaking events. Like, you could probably do a merch brand like this, like just the merch. And not be you can be like, I guess I like people and do it. But especially the speaking events, like, even the small ones or the ones at schools, where like you just see how genuinely you care about people, and you are always the first person to shout out the people taking pictures. You shout out Macy. You shout out the people that help before you start talking. You started this. You said, I got to do these two shout outs because I don't want to forget. Like it was the top of mind, the thing you care about. Like, you care about and you understand the people helping you. You know the people around you. Like, you do care. It is, you're not seeing your friends just because you don't want to.
Well, you know what? Maybe I should not be so hard on myself. I'm still keeping it at 4.5.
And I think because it is true that your relationships aren't as good, but it is because of it comes from a good place.
And also, like, at the end of the day, like, I got to bring this up to you as well. Maybe I already have. March 21st, we're doing an event at Lee Summit West. It's the same thing we did at Ray Peck that you couldn't be there for. I was gonna see if you and McKenna wanted to pop out.
I'll look after.
Okay. But anyways, like Jason, McKenna, they're like, oh, we'll be there. Like all the homies show out, you know. So I don't know. That just kind of shows like, okay, I might not be there a whole lot, but everyone's bought in and everyone understands. And also, as this grows, systems get better, which means time that I don't have now might come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Every time you do something again, it's better and more efficient.
Yeah, and I think last time, I think it might have been this question, I said something like, there's a couple big decisions I can make to make things a lot smoother. Well, I decided not to make those decisions. The decisions were to quit my job and do this full time.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing that yet. I don't want to do that yet because, example, Monday night, I did a speaking event. I won't say for who because I'm going to keep it private. This is dropping in a couple weeks, so you won't even know what one I'm talking about. They were like, hey, can you come speak for us? We have no budget, though. And I said, yeah, I'll come for free. I don't care. Went up there, did the event. It was great. Great time. If I was doing this full time, oh my goodness, I could not do that.
Yeah.
I could not do that. So being able to do that, I was able to reach like 70 chicks that they might have heard of me, but probably didn't know who I was. And also they were like, hey, we want it to be about balance. And I'm like, that's new. Normally I go and do the same thing every time. Mm-hmm. So not only did I get to go do that for free, I also got to grow a whole lot because it was about a whole new topic. It gave me a whole new level of confidence with speaking, and all that growth and all of that came from a free event. So like it was worth way more than any financially thing anyways, because we got to impact people and I personally got to learn so much about speaking and my skills. So the point there being, I wouldn't have got that experience if I did this full time. Yeah. So what I did is I said, I'm not quitting my job. I'm committing to another year of it. I'm going to keep being completely scatterbrained and plate overly full for like at least another year. Hopefully once we get this house and stuff, like hopefully by then I can figure something out. But I don't know. So yeah, that's unfortunate news, but it is what it is.
No, I think that makes sense.
But anyways, enough about me. What about you though?
So I feel good about where I'm at. Same as you said with Macy, me and McKenna are at, like, every day I feel like we are at the best point in our relationship and like the closest that we've been. So like that is absolutely like the highest number you can give out of 10. Like it's been great. A big thing is last week, 2 weeks ago, she just started on day shift. She has been on like orientation sometimes, but for the most part of the last 2 years, she's been on night shift. And that is tough because the sleep schedule is just different because when you work, even like right now, she works a 12-hour day. So I see her a little bit in the morning, a little hour at night. I don't see her a ton on the day she works, but then she's just there on the day she's not. So she works 3 12s, is off for 4. But before, if you work 3 12s at night, you also have to adjust your sleep schedule going into it. You have to adjust your sleep schedule back to a day shift coming out of it. That's if you get a perfect schedule or 3 line up, and if your flips in and out are perfect. But a lot of times it's not because your body's not built for that. Like, it's not good for your health to be a consistent night shift worker flipping back and forth.
Yeah.
She is now out of that, and that schedule is just so much nicer. It was such a selfless decision on her part because you get paid a few more dollars or something like that an hour on night. There's not as much management. There's very little management at work because they work days.
Yeah.
So, and it's not as busy.
Yeah.
So like for her work professionally, it is a harder shift, a little bit less money. And like, that was such a selfless decision because it makes the life part so much better. And a big part of that is me and her, like our life is better. And she's hopefully going to go back to school this summer. So it also helps there as well. But our relationship is at a fantastic point. Like it is bar none the best it's been. And it feels like it gets better every day. I'm so excited to have a house. It feels like right now I love where we're at. Me and her grandma, Jolene, or as I call her, Meemaw, best buds. Like it is fantastic. Yeah. But having a full house, having our own space, we have so many wedding gifts. It's been 10 months and we have so many wedding gifts in my room at my parents' house. Just sitting there. Just stuff. We have patio furniture still in a box that we can't use. Like we just don't have a space for it.
Yeah, literally.
And so like I'm so jazzed for that. We're at a great spot. But then like with my friends, when we recorded this last, it was just as we were getting through like the honeymoon phase of all of my friends being back in town. Yeah. And unfortunately, Hudson just moved back to Wichita this semester to finish his master's degree.
Okay, I was about to say,
which
he just
not
got
like
back.
Long term, but absolutely the right decision for him. And like I'm so happy for him. We're talking about like see your friends' dreams come true. I'm so supportive of it. I should get to see him a little less, but he comes back. Like I'm gonna see him this weekend. Like he can come back on pretty much any weekend and comes back quite often. But like Drew's in town, Jace is in town, Andrew's in town, Malik, King, Carson's in town.
Pretty much every weekend.
same as Hudson, where like he can be back in town any weekend. We have stuff, and so many of my close friends, and it's still like Wesley stayed in Wichita, and that is the one that was like, shout out Wesley through the last year and a half of college. I saw Wesley more than anyone but McKenna because we lived together and we did volleyball. He was really the only person in. I would say I had 4 circles: school, volleyball, fraternity, home. Yeah. King. He came to volleyball stuff, but he also was working and didn't go to school, so he wasn't on the team. Wesley was the only one in 2 of those groups, so I spent a lot of time with Wesley, and so like we still text and keep up, and like I would love for him to be in town. But every other one of my like really close friends lives pretty close to me. Yeah, and like that is awesome, and I feel like I'm not perfect. I don't see them all nearly as much as I'd want to. Like that's just not possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Like even what you said, like you're sacrificing time. I'm not even running a full brand, but it's just like you only have so many hours in a day and days in a week. But I still see them quite often, and I feel like that's great. And I've gotten better at seeing my family more often as well. Yeah. I still want to try and see my grandparents more often. I think that's the emotional thing of like, to be blunt about it, your grandparents are the next family that'll pass away in your life. Like I went to 3 funerals last year. 2 family, my grandpa, McKenna's grandpa, and a coworker who was in his 70s and was like a grandfather to me. Yeah. Those make those moments hit really hard. And so that's the place I do want to see my grandparents more often, but I'm seeing them more now than I was a year ago and more than I had been 2 years before. And so that's great. But I would say I'm going to try not to split it up because I think I did last year. Understand McKenna is a billion out of 10.
Yeah, yeah.
I really went up to there. You only did 20.
Oh shoot.
20 or 20,000.
I'll do $1 trillion.
No. You said 20,000. It's already in the notes, so it's stuck there.
No.
But I would say across the board everywhere else, including like family and friends and everyone outside of McKenna in my relationship, I would say I'm like an 8 out of 10. Because the family and the grandparents I could still improve on. But like me and McKenna have started playing pickleball more with my parents, and that's been great because McKenna's been wanting to get more into it. Me and my parents play quite a bit. And so that's been really fun. Me and McKenna, another thing that's actually been huge for me and McKenna that wasn't really a thing at that point, she's now gotten into golfing. I think
really?
At the time we recorded, she maybe had gone out and like rode with us, or maybe sort of played once, but like we got her a set of like starter women's clubs. So she's got her own, which is great because they're built for someone her height. Like using mine, they were my 6'4" grandpa's and my 6'1" self's clubs.
Yeah.
She's 5'2". She says 5'3". She's 5'2". But that just isn't going to work out. So she's gotten her own, and she played softball. So she likes taking something and hitting the ball with it.
Yeah.
She just had to learn how to change it for golf. And like, it can be a frustrating sport, but it's really fun. And like, we can't wait for the summer to like go play more. And that's cool. Been it's fun discovering new stuff, but it's especially fun discovering new stuff with like my best friend in the world. And so like, we love finding new stuff to do together. We've loved finding different workouts over the last like 3-4 weeks when it's cold, new workouts to do at home together. We got this like stair stepper machine. So we were doing back and forth stair stepper treadmill and stuff like that. And it's fun. But for like family and friends, I don't know if I will ever be at a 10 out of 10 because a big part of my life, not to like be that guy, I'm a very empathetic person. And part of it is because I'm not a big fan of myself. Like there's a lot of like self-deprecation issues in like the back of my mind. But a big part of my life is like seeing other people succeed and like nurturing and fostering relationships. And so a 10 out of 10 I don't think is achievable to me because I could always be a better friend or see people more or do better things.
Yeah.
So like an 8 out of 10 is probably a lot of people's like 9 or 9.5. But to me it's like I have 20% more room to grow.
Okay.
But I would have it as like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I honestly also forgot to mention like family aspect. Dude, I haven't seen Macy got the flu over Christmas. So we had to miss our whole family Christmas.
I got it right after.
Oh, really?
The weekend after,
Dude, everybody had it.
I was out of commission. It was.
Oh, yeah, I think you told me that, actually.
4 days. I was down bad.
Yeah.
But the week of December, like 22nd, or whatever that Monday or Sunday was, I saw somewhere it was the most new flu cases in a week in America in like 20-something years.
Yeah,
like it was insane.
Dude, and then the Chiefs sucking, like that was our family time. We would see each other every single weekend. But now they're like not good. They're not in the playoffs. So
yeah, it was definitely
that took a lot.
That was interesting.
Yeah. That cuts out hours of our family. Like that cuts out probably half of our family time for the whole year. like them not being good.
Yeah. I mean, because it's just not interesting.
We stopped doing Chiefs parties in like week 6. We already knew.
I think it went longer than that. I think the week Mahomes went down.
Yeah.
Was probably the last week that I like tried to do a thing for the Chiefs.
So the last we already 4 weeks where it was. Basically knew it was over that game, and then he got injured. I was doing a pop-up. I never missed Chiefs games. I literally just did a pop-up that day.
Like going into that game, it was like, okay, technically we can make the playoffs. We probably won't, but like I want to watch. Let's see if we can like turn it around. And when he got hurt, at that point in the game, we were going to lose. Yeah. And if we were going to lose, it's like, okay, we had like a 2% chance.
Yeah.
And then he went down. I was like, okay.
And now we can just say, yo, Mahomes tore his ACL that year. You can't tarnish his legacy. Anyone that like really knows ball will be like, that's cap. But
in like 5 years from now,
exactly,
no one knows.
Exactly.
People are comparing it to Tom Brady. Like only time he missed the Super Bowl, he tore his ACL. He did it in like week like 3.
Exactly.
Or like on like a team that was really good.
As we were losing a game when we were basically already eliminated. No. Towards ACL.
Yeah.
Anyways, dude, we're 43 minutes in. That camera can go for like an hour.
I was about to ask.
And then I got a second battery somewhere. I'll find it.
I was going to ask if we needed to cut at 45.
We don't need to cut.
Okay.
But that thing might die or overheat any moment.
Okay.
I have to find the other bat. Oh, it's up there.
I'm going to move on to the next one.
Okay.
This next one will be interesting because you just came from the gym.
Oh, gosh.
It is physical health. So
you go first.
I'll go first. I don't go to the gym as much as I should or can. So this score is not going to be as good as it like should be.
Yeah.
But I am proud of, there has been a much more consistently conscious effort by me. which is a little bit of a spoiler for number 4, by the way. But I have been more conscious of my consistency for physical health, for activity, and for food. Because I don't know if I talked about that last time, but what you eat is absolutely a big part of physical health.
Yeah.
And with the Huggins Harvest, I know you guys, like that shows it to the world, but like you guys have been people who I know have always been very conscious of what you eat. You only like water and milk. Like
it's gotten extreme with Macy basically telling me what I can and can't eat. But anyways,
and like I eat a lot of food, and like the diet part of it, I still like. This is part financial, part health. I bring lunch 4 or 5 days of the 5 days of the week for work. I don't allow myself. I can do 1 day a week. I already planned it with my coworker. We're getting lunch Friday,
Nice.
But like I bring lunch because then I can make it healthier. I can be a little more conscious, and even if it's not healthier, it's just a better habit to not go buy Popeyes or whatever it is, or Quick Trip Roller Grills. And that also includes, I would get like a snack on the way back from like, I drove out to a job site on the way back to the office. I'd like stop in for a bag of chips or a roller grill from Quick Trip. No, I cut that out too.
Yeah, it's the little things. It really
and like
is.
that conscious effort has been better. And like me and McKenna are like scheduling when we can work out. And her schedule makes it a lot easier. But like yesterday we were like, okay, this week is super nutty, especially the back half. We need to, when we get home, we had a call with a mortgage lender to potentially go with. And then it's like, okay, we got to work out before dinner, before anything. Like we are laying out time as opposed to like, oh, it'll happen when it happens. Cause it's not going to happen when it happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so that's been a lot better, but it hasn't been happening as much or as like aggressively as it should. So McKenna's schedule also will help, because if she worked night shift, she would wake up at 5, leave like basically 6 o'clock for work. So I'd get off work at 3. I liked making dinner for us because then we got to eat dinner together.
It's gone. We could just finish this up and I'll put the battery in. Or should I do it right now?
I think right now.
Okay, let's do it right now.
I think right now. Okay.
All right, we're back.
Jump right into it.
Yeah, continue.
So I was talking about the physical workout. So I would come home. I liked making dinner for me and McKenna. So I knew she was getting food before work, and it was a time for us to sit down and talk. But that meant I had to be home. I had to start making dinner at 4:30. So if I got off at 3, like there's not a really great chance for me to go home, shower, or go home, work out, come home, shower, have it all ready. So I just come straight home.
Yeah.
Now she doesn't get home till 8. So even if I'm making a meal to have ready, I don't need to be there. So I can go after work.
Yeah.
And because it's so hard for me to go home and then go back out to the gym, because that's 20 extra minutes driving, which I know isn't that. It's not a good excuse, but it's way easier for me to just go straight there after work.
No,
it's 2
I
minutes
get
from
that.
work.
I get that.
And so that's also a better my mentality of what my afternoons look like, because my priority will always be McKenna first, and I do not regret going home to make us dinner.
Yeah.
But now it adds that layer to it.
Dude, I get that though. Once you're home, you're just trying to be home, bro. Like
absolutely. Even if I'm doing stuff and I'm productive around the house, I want to do stuff around the house.
Yeah,
you know? So
yeah, exactly.
That definitely helps.
Exactly. You just want to unwind and be like, all right, I'm home for the night, chilling. I get that for sure.
So I would say 7. No, that's unrealistic. 6.6.
I thought you were
6.6.
I thought we were
flat. We probably should start cooking, because we're now officially halfway through these, and it's an hour, and we have to compare to our old ones.
Yeah, true.
We should probably. We're getting a bit.
All right,
rambling.
I'll keep this short then. Gym started out this year, so January 1st through 9th was dead for me. Macy had the flu still, and yeah, Macy had the flu still. My timeline's off because actually we had Christmas canceled because my grandpa had the flu. And then when they rescheduled it, Macy had the flu. That's why we missed it. So January 1st through 9th, she was sick. I had no pop-ups, no speaking, no nothing. So the first 9 days of the year, and even the 10th, gym consistent. I was killing it. I was literally thinking, I was like, I'm not going to tell anyone that this is like a resolution, but I'm just going to like make a post on the 31st day of this month and be like, all right, guys, did a month, didn't miss a day. Well,
then the 11th happened.
Yeah. So I went to Nebraska on the 10th for a pop-up, and so I missed it. And I was like, that's fine. Like, that's understandable. You miss a day. I'm not even in the state. Well, then I got back, and then I missed like a week, dude. I missed a week because I just got, like, once I started grinding, I was just started getting the grind, started focusing on other things. But now, finally, like, today is, like, 4th day back, so I'm feeling like I'm back. The gym, though, I feel like I'm good there. Like, I would give myself, like, a 9 out of 10 there. Eating... it's not that I eat bad. I just need to eat more. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't eat breakfast. I eat lunch. Sometimes I'm too busy. Sometimes I don't eat my first meal till dinner, and then I got to eat like another meal that night, and then I try to eat like 3 meals at night sometimes because
you sound like my wife. You sound like McKenna, but she doesn't catch it up. We're not big breakfast people. She has lunch if she can at work.
Yeah,
like she's like she probably averages a meal and a half. A day. Like every other day has 2 meals. Every other day has 1.
Well, if my parents watch this, they hear me say it all the time. They're like, "What'd you eat today?" I was like, "I haven't ate." They're like, "What?" Because I'm here like every day, so I see my parents like every day just because I gotta do merch stuff. And they're like, "What do you mean you haven't ate?" They're like, "You're just dumb. That's just dumb." I'm like, "You guys don't get it. I wake up at like 6 and I'm busy from 6 until sometimes 10 p.m. Like literally, my to-do list sometimes is like, if I don't do this right now, it's going to cook the whole plan. So sometimes I don't have time to eat. But thankfully, Macy like meal preps me lunches. So what happens is if I have time, I stop by the apartment, eat, keep going. If I don't have time, I eat dinner, and then I just eat that lunch like later in the night. Yeah. So I still get like 2 meals, but I need to eat like 5 meals because I'm too tiny, bro. I'm trying to like get bigger, but like at the same time, you can't get bigger if you don't eat. So like what you said earlier is so true. What you eat is everything. Truly, what you eat is everything. I can notice when I look at myself in the mirror, a day where I ate 4 or 5 meals compared to a day where I ate 1 meal. Mm. Like there's a huge difference, and it doesn't matter if I went to the gym or not. You know, that's what's crazy. Yeah. And yeah, I guess like the health factor is there. Macy literally doesn't let me eat anything that's unhealthy. Like. Dude, I'd go to the store and like try to buy something. She's like, "Nope, not getting that." I'm like, "Why?" Like I always have ate this. She's like, "Look at this. What? Do you know what this is?"
And no,
I have no idea. She's like, "Exactly. We're not eating that." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "All right." Like sometimes, like in that aspect, she feels like a mom almost. But like, I don't want to call her my mom because that's kind of weird. But it feels like that sometimes. Yeah. I'm gonna give myself health factor. I'm gonna give myself. Dude, honestly, right now, like a 7. Like
for the food or overall?
Overall, because I think the gym is more like a 8, and the food's more like a 6. Down. Wait, what did I say?
No, ignore me. Okay. I'm making this too much of a game.
Okay. For the gym, I'm like at an 8, I would say ish, and then for food, I'd say like I'm at like a 6. So I'm gonna just go at a 7.
Heard.
Yeah.
The next one is consistency. I'll start this. I'm like a 9.5.
Just
like,
overall consistency?
Yeah. Like consistency is like just how you're doing. And I would say like 9.5. Like we got a color-coded calendar. My life, like wake up and I leave for work within like a half-hour period of the same half-hour period. Even in this cold, when I've gone into work, it's been within a 30-minute between 6:30 and 7 every day. Like I've got my routines down. I've got my basketball on the same days of each week. My 0.5 is my podcast because last week I had a phone call and missed one day. Then I forgot to put it together. Didn't come out this last Sunday. So I'm putting it together with this week.
I'm not going to lie. I'm so behind that I have not been caught up on a week-to-week basis in a while.
Honestly, like not in a rude way. I don't care. In that like I don't want to make it. There are my mom and Jace's wife, McKenna, are the only two that like notice if I don't post. My mom texts me Monday. She's like, "Hey, it didn't come out. What's happening?"
So and that means they're watching this. So shout out to y'all.
Like they keep up with it. And so
that's awesome.
But like that's my 0.5. Genuinely is the only place in my life. And it's annoying to me because I love doing the podcast. Like if someone asks me my dream job, it's to be a podcast host.
Yeah.
But the consistency isn't hard in that like want to do the podcast as a whole. It's genuinely that I do it at the moment I get in the car leaving work. And some days I'm just like, oh, I'm de-stressing from work and I'm driving home and all of a sudden it's been my 8-minute drive and I didn't just record the podcast. Like it's not a place of not wanting to do it. It's just, I forgot. And like this last weekend, it was so snowy. I was so cozy at home. I just forgot to put it together. And like, that's not a good excuse, but that's my 0.5. Like that's not as consistent as it can be, but everywhere else, like I feel really good about.
Okay. Just a little side comment. I want to just going back to the friend thing. This is kind of part of what I was talking about, how like I'm taking sacrifices now. So one day, so there's certain things that I have known, like I've always known you kind of want to be a podcast host. Like that's a dream of yours. And so like, I want to tell you this just because I think we're talking about it. Bro, a long-term goal of mine eventually would be to be so busy with speaking that, like, Carson, bro, you got to do the clothing brand. Like, I will pay you a salary to do the clothing brand. Like, that's your job. The podcast will also be too busy. You're number one guy. I mean, just so you know, that 100%.
Like I would love that. Like that would be so much fun. Like I'm not gonna hold you to that, by the way. Like when you get a better candidate, don't feel like you can't choose them.
You'll be a co-host.
I'll make an appearance every once in a while.
I'll be honest, it'll be tough to get a better one because I don't know if you know how good you are at this. Like, I do a lot of podcasts. Every time we do a podcast, I told you earlier, I don't have to think so hard. Honestly, we're just gonna talk. It's gonna be great.
It's not that hard. I would say there are two things you need to do to be good at a podcast, and both of them I do one of them I just do it all the time in normal life. Like, it's just a conversation skill. The other one is you just have to understand, like, what you're doing. Like, I understand that, like, people are listening to like, hear interesting comments. So it's like, just talk. Like, when I got down the road of, like, a boring thing, that was like a podcast click of, like, okay, they're not listening to Dave Ramsey. Let's get to the cool conversation piece.
Exactly.
And then the conversation thing is just don't let there be a dead space, which you don't always have to have in conversation, but that's what I have. That's why I talk so much, is I don't like dead space. And the end of my thing, I either need to have a direction that I'm going with what I say, or I need to end in a way that gives you something to say.
Oh, yeah. And that's
especially in a one-on-one, I'm going to end this conversation. I'm going to go, so that's what you need to do, right? And then you're going to go, right. And you're going to bounce off of it. It's not hard. Yeah. Just like help the other person, and then you help me back. And that's what we do back and forth.
Dude, could you imagine if at my house I had a little shed? This is thoughts I actually have on a day-to-day basis. Here's my house, and in the back there's a shed, and it's a podcast studio, and you have the key to it. And I know that every Thursday at whatever time, we'll figure it out. Yeah. You know, I'm like, oh, Spencer's back there. He has some guests back there. I don't know, just something like that. Or we get a real, like, office space or something.
Shed.
That could happen. Shed might be more
I want an uninsulated shed so they can tell what time of year it is based off how bundled up we are or not.
Look, we got 4 underwater FlyZone hoodies.
And in the summer, I'm standing like this so you don't see my sweat stains on my shirt. Yeah. I think that's more real.
Dude. Well, my thought with getting a house would be, so the house we're looking at is like, dude, tiniest house, 1-car garage. It's a whole
Ours
thing.
Don't even have garages all the time when we look at them. Really? I absolutely get that.
Yeah. So basically, but it's on 2 lots. So like there's just a huge yard.
Yeah.
My thought is put a big, like, 2-car garage shed in there, and then just don't put cars in there. We just put the whole merch in there.
It's like a studio. You can make it a studio merch thing.
I don't even want to call it a shed. I want to make it a barn, like a podcast barn.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you could make a podcast studio. They're never as big as they seem. Any podcast you have ever watched, their studio is smaller than it feels.
Look how much room we have right now. There are boxes literally. You just probably see the weird camera angle.
You honestly, other than the camera angle, probably can't tell on that. But this is like, you walk into real life and it feels cramped, but it's not. So you have a little corner for a podcast.
Yeah.
And then a ton of room for merch. Yeah, it'd be easy.
Well, and also if we get some mic stands, you can do it right in the dead center. Who cares?
You know? Absolutely. Really you make it work wherever you need to make it work.
So anyways, just know that is a plan of mine.
Sweet.
And hold me to it. If I find if I find someone that's just like, oh my gosh, I gotta get them, then maybe I'll demote you to co-host. But that's probably not gonna happen. Bro.
You know what you could do? I've noticed a trend with podcasts. And I'm this real quick aside, then I'm gonna think about how consistent you are.
Okay.
Every podcast I found that has 2 people, whether it's a host and a guest or just 2 normal hosts, after about a year or 2 when they get popular, the producer, which is the person doing it, essentially becomes a 3rd host. And their job is to like keep the audio going, look stuff up if they need it, put graphics up. But at some point they have their own mic and they talk. I would do that because then I'm feeding them lines. I'm looking stuff up. I love Googling things.
Oh, that'd be sick.
And so like that could be something I do. Like,
yeah,
absolutely. Like I don't need to be the main person, but
when I get a house, bro, this is going to be a lot different. We're not going to be throwing like right now. Mom and Dad, I'm having a guest over. Oh, not tonight. Oh, okay. You know, it's just like all this weird, like whenever I have a house, bro, oh man, life is going to change a lot, dude. Yeah. The brand will be more organized. Everything's going to be better, but we have a whole year to go. So bear with me.
So how consistency out of 10? How do you feel?
Okay. Consistency out of 10.
That's a big question.
The problem is I feel like I would say 10, honestly, but But the problem is today specifically, it was not a 10 though. Today was the first day I would say, like this year, I've been just taking it day by day. Like they say to achieve your goals, you got to look at it on a big scale and then break it down like month to month and then break it down week to week and then break it down day to day, then hour by hour. Like the more specific you get. So I've really been adopting that mindset. But today, bruh, I woke up later than I should have. I woke up like 7:30. Normally that would like screw my whole day up.
Mm-hmm.
Today I didn't have a whole ton on my to-do list because roofing, there's snow outside. I had nothing to do for roofing today.
Yeah.
But I went and did my sales tax. I had got that paid. That sucked, but it's okay. Yeah, so I did that today. And then after that, dude, I was down here in what should have taken me 30 minutes. Took me like 2.5 hours. And that's why I was like late to the gym and pretty much late to here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dude. Today was rough. So I'm going to give myself a 9.8 because
of today specifically.
Because of this day, yes. Yeah. But every other day this year, I've low-key been dialed, bro. Thankfully. And the thing is, thinking in business terms, it's not about what your business will become. It's about who will you become. Mm-hmm. You know, like who do I have to become for this to become what I want it to become?
Especially with what you're doing. Like it is such a like who's doing it and who are they that makes it meaningful.
Everyone thinks so much about, I need to do this advertising and this and this. No, some of y'all just need to go, get your mind right. Some of y'all just need to really check your intentions, and some of you need to just go
let
to
the results follow.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. I feel like the better version of myself that I become, the better this does.
Yeah.
I've seen that literally play out.
And I think, and it goes into the next one. I'm gonna pretty quickly segue from that answer.
Okay,
the last one is overall life satisfaction. For your sake, I hope your answer is high. Not that it needs to be a 10 out of 10, but I say that because what you have said today is you were talking about like your dreams coming true.
Yeah.
What you are currently doing not on a day-to-day scale, but on a big picture scale is maybe the lower level, but is what you wanted this brand to be. Yeah. You are selling a lot of merch, but you're also doing a ton of speaking events. And this is the vision of what the brand was going to be. And it'll always have room to grow. And it obviously you could do more speaking events or bigger ones, but like, I hope you understand that like you deserve to be satisfied with where you are at, not satisfied in terms of like wanting to stop here or plateau. But this is the goal. Even if on a day-to-day scale, the stress of doing it can be a lot, or there's a lot of merch. You have to pay for the merch or whatever. I hope you're satisfied by the big picture because of where you are at.
Dude, so this past Saturday, we dropped our cheetah print hoodies. There were like 150 of them, which is kind of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of worried because like they were taking up so much room. I would have had to reschedule because it was bad.
Yeah.
Well, glory to God, sold all but like these like
I would say there's like 7,
yes,
8. Yeah.
It was insane, dude.
Less.
It was insane. It was crazy, bro. Like it was a whole operation down here. And I also learned that we need a better shipping system because that could have taken way shorter.
Mm-hmm.
It went way longer. The things you learn through business, right?
Absolutely.
But anyways, the reason I bring that up is essentially now I'm drawing a blank because I started thinking about that system. So wait, let me take it back. Big merch drop, sold out. Here's what I was coming to. So basically, as we're packing orders, like Macy, when the merch dropped, here's my phone. Like insane, dude. It was the craziest thing I've experienced. And Macy's over here like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'm over here like, oh no. and she was like,
I have to ship all these locally.
But what I'm thinking of is, do you know how many emails I'm about to receive that are complaints? Because there's always, not complaints, but like, oh, I ordered the wrong size. Can I get a different size? No, they're all sold out. Yeah. No. Or, oh, can I cancel my order? My friend, this actually did happen. My friend, I was buying for her and she ended up getting one. And I'm like, what are we no hate, love you guys, but what are we doing?
Figure it out.
Yeah. So basically, like in that moment, I realized I should not be like worried right now. This is just part of it, I should expect on a big merch drop and a big sellout that we're gonna have problems. It's just part of the journey. So I literally in the past couple of days, I've had like a reframe of basically just understanding if you want success, there are going to be negatives that come along with that. This is not a perfect world. It's just the way it is, you know? If I'm going to go speak to 1,000 students, there's going to be a handful, hopefully a tiny handful, but there's going to be a handful of kids that didn't connect, didn't want to be there, didn't like it, think I'm an idiot. Like, you know, it's
right.
like, it is what it is. And if I go speak at 20 schools, there's going to be a principal that doesn't like that I showed up in baggy camo pants and an oversized shirt and was talking like not professional. I don't clean it up at these schools.
You just you.
Yeah. If you want me, you're going to get me. If you don't want me, go get somebody else. There's plenty of speakers out there.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to compromise myself I don't buy into professionalism. Go to my LinkedIn. It is not looking professional.
Is it still your headshot with the dreads?
Oh, no. Okay, that's a whole nother level.
There's professionalism, and then there's that.
Exactly. That's
okay.
Yeah. But
good.
Basically, the reason I'm saying all this is because I do think that I'm like at a 9.5. I should be at a 10. I think I'm getting to be a 10, but sometimes I let the negatives get too loud when I should just realize there's going to be negatives. It's just the way it is.
I think a 9.5 is so healthy.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the little bit of hunger for like that keeps your room to grow.
Yeah.
Because as much as you want to say I'm 10 out of 10, but I want to get better, if you feel totally satisfied, that 9.5, there's a 0.5 seed of having those people be happier, find one more speaking event. Like it keeps at least a little bit of dog in the fight.
Yeah, no, for sure. The other thing is this. I saw a quote from one of my speaking mentors I just got in this program. Shout out Speak Hive. It's a whole long story, but my guy Jared Scott, he's down in Texas. He reached out to me. He was like, dude, you need to be a part of this. Like, we will help you. We will help you make this a real thing and not just like praying that people fill out my form on the website. Mm-hmm. So anyways, this dude posted today. He said, don't let the good times make you comfortable, because those good times are going to end. Like, essentially, in a speaking term, I have, like I said, Archie tomorrow, 2 schools on Friday, a school next week in Omaha, a school that, like, right now it's the harvest is plentiful, or whatever they say. You know, there's plenty of good things coming.
And then there'll be a month, 2 months where you have none.
Yeah, and if I get comfortable now, and I'm just gonna kill these, and life's gonna be great. Okay, those are gonna end, and now what? You know,
absolutely.
Am I just gonna pray that more fall out of the sky? Or another thing is, like, my application dings, and I go look. I'm not gonna lie, right now I'm not like, oh my gosh, I gotta lock this down. I'm like, I'll hit them up, but I'm like, no, I need to get them locked down because these are gonna end.
Yeah,
you know. So it's a whole thing.
Absolutely,
it's a whole thing. So, anyways, yeah, I'm like at a 9.5. And if you would have asked me maybe earlier this week when I booked Iowa State University,
so cool.
that's fire. I booked. I'm in the process of booking K-State and Arkansas right now. If you would have asked me when those came in on, like, what's the day? Wednesday? That must have been Monday. Mm-hmm. Bro, I was on a high that day. I probably would have said 20.
Yeah, absolutely.
But today I had a bunch of schools hit me back and say, hey, it's not going to work out. Like, by a bunch, I mean one that submitted an interest form. I submitted a time back for a call, and they submitted back that they're not interested. I'm like, wait a second, bro.
That happened too quick.
Yeah, wait a second. But it is what it is. And then another one hit me back today saying, hey, we're going to do this, but we can't do it at the date we picked. And I'm just like, that might be the only day that works, because we're starting to get busy. So I don't know.
But like that's a good thing that, like, I think a 9.5 is healthy. Honestly, I think I'd do the same answer.
Yeah, okay, let's go to you. Yeah,
I think I would do 9.5 as well, because like I think I'm so excited to have a house. I'm excited for the new work. We got a cruise coming up in March. I'm excited for.
Oh, dude,
like,
that's awesome.
Like, everything is moving in the right direction, but not everything's at the right place, if that makes sense.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I think that's a good way to, honestly, kind of for both of us. Like,
that's a great way to put it.
We are doing all of the right things, and it is absolutely great, but there are places to get to. And so, like, I don't want to feel satisfied until I'm at those.
Dude, that is a great way to put it.
I'll top the dome.
Hey, he's
not long enough for a reel, but let me tell you, we could clip it somewhere. We could put that on a soundboard. Please don't put it on a soundboard. Right under Brad Poles.
Do I hear Brad Pohl?
I heard
my headset. It's not my head. I can barely hear it through yours.
All right. Do we want to go to the next part of this?
Yeah. We'll take a second. I'll go figure out the scores.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back. Compare to our old ones.
Let's go. All right. That was a lot harder than we thought it was going to be.
Okay. So to walk you guys through it, what we had to do we didn't watch it before, which I think was a good idea for the first portion. To what you've seen up to this point, I think it made it a much better podcast.
Yeah.
Because we were just genuinely answering. Because I think back in my mind, I would have been like, oh, if I was at this then.
Yeah, I agree.
So I was like, let me go through the Spotify real quick.
Yeah.
They didn't do the automatic chapters. I had to sit there, and I'm glad Foster then started doing it, and he'd put it on 2 times again. That's a great idea. I was watching it at 1 time speed, just clicking through. We talk a lot. We are yappers.
We did the same thing on this episode.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it probably makes it a better podcast.
Yeah.
Or we don't realize how bad it is. One of the two. But we were going, and it just takes so long. We're sitting there scrolling. I didn't answer 2 of them. We'll get there. There's 2 of them I just never give a number on. I did hear what I was talking about because I was like, we were going through on the last one. I'm going to jump to what happened there. He was like, oh, I said an 8. I go, what time are you at? He said this one. I go, well, I don't think I answered. He's like, why is that? So I'm 40 seconds ahead, and you just asked me to rate the episode as a whole. Between where you're at and where I'm.
Even ask that?
Between where you're at, because you said, this podcast is one of the best ones I've ever done. How would you rate it? And then I go, because where I'm not, I can't think of one thing. I go, do we need to pause? And you're like, no, we're good. I go, oh, okay. So rate the podcast as a whole? And I'm also confused by the question. And then I never answer it. So, but we're going to go one by one. We're not going to go in depth because it's just a comparison. I heard some of it, but we didn't talk like necessarily about Icon.
That's what I'm saying.
It's Icon Fool's Colors. See, I can't focus. Dude, when I like unprofessionalize, I've got really bad ADHD. It's not diagnosed, but it's certainly there.
I feel that.
And
it's an advantage in some ways.
And having that goofiness right there, they just unlocked. This is a new spec. You guys, it just like hit, but to me it was like a few minutes. But we're just going to go through like quick.
It was a...
Oh, I can't hear it. I just heard you. I just saw you hit the button. Real quick, because like you've now got 2 episodes of us talking about it.
Yeah,
it's kind of a general vibe. So the first one, mental health, mental clarity. So today was at an 8.5. Then I said I was at a 7 to 7.5. So I'm going up right direction.
Yeah.
If I had to guess,
wait, you said 8.5 then? Now?
8.4 now.
Okay.
So 7.5 then. So I went up somewhere from 1.4 to 0.9.
There we go.
And
that was so loud. Sorry, guys.
I didn't hear it. Those sounds are coming through my headphones, but I can hear us, which is weird.
Anyways, what was I at?
But I went. You were at a 5, and you went up to an 8 because you were saying something about how you were angry, and I didn't listen. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't really listening, but I think it was like we determined angry was the wrong word. Yeah. I think you were like focused in a bad way, not in a bad way, but focused in like a overwhelming, stressed way.
When I heard myself say angry, I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about because I can't remember the last time I was genuinely like angry.
You said I'm at like a 5 because I feel I'm not sad. Like I used to be like depressed, but now I'm like angry. And I said that's not a very Foster emotion. We move on. And I think eventually we move on to like that's not the right word. Yeah. But I think at that point there was just a lot going on, and it was like stressed. But a 5 is crazy.
It's also like doing these episodes is like kind of like there's a lot of recency bias.
Absolutely.
So there were a couple of annoying things.
I also think the number isn't going to do. There's so much context to these numbers. The numbers simplify it too much because like what my 7 to 7.5 is probably like I might be in the exact same place, but because I've been at that good place for the 6 months, then it went up. Yeah. And like in that moment you were angry, but like you could explain why you were so stressed in that moment.
Just go watch back because I need to go watch.
So these numbers aren't going to give context. For the relationships. So at today. This is more a reminder for us than them, honestly. Like you said 20,000 for Macy, 4.5 for friends. Good news, you went up 1,000-fold because you were only a 20 for Macy at the time, and you went up infinite-fold because you were a 0 for everyone else at the time.
I was a 0.
So you jumped up.
I think that's accurate. The Macy one. Honestly, it's. I don't know. I think I was at probably.
I think it's the same thing where like really good with Macy, great, and like. Not great for friends, but just like different mindsets of it. But I think it tells the same story.
I genuinely think that since our episode, I feel like I've been more aware of the fact that I need to spend more time with friends. Which, granted, I haven't done a whole lot more, but
you're aware of it. You're thinking about your friends more. In that moment, you were like, "Oh, I got friends." Like you forgot. You're like 0 because
friends. What are those?
Because I haven't thought about anyone but Macy in a month. I was just a 9 across the board. I didn't separate it. And I think at the same time, honestly, it was probably family as well was where I wanted to go because I was in the honeymoon phase of like my French. So technically I went down across the board because I said billion for McKenna and 8 for everyone else today. But like I would say it's still about the same place.
Yeah.
For physical health, you were at a 3 or a 4. You are now up to an 8 for the gym and 7 overall. So like up and up.
Yeah, that's
like
good.
you're on the move. If I had to guess, that was probably a phase where like I haven't been to the gym in a month because things have been so busy.
I was gonna say
because that was a point. Like you were so busy, that probably recency bias of like you probably were more than a 3 or 4.
Yeah,
but like physical health. I was at a 4.5 and I went up to a 6.6 today. So like on a good direction.
Yeah.
At that point, it was like I played pickleball and that's it. Like that was literally all I did.
Yeah.
Consistency. Today I was at a 9.5. Didn't give one. So don't know how consistent. But I did. I was because that was the point I listened because I was like at some point this dummy's gonna say a number, isn't he? I never did. But I was talking about how I liked my schedule at work and I got in that rhythm. So probably would have maybe not 9.5, but good. At that time you were at a 6. You are now at a 9.8.
Let's
fantastic.
Go, baby.
Because at
that's accurate though. That's very accurate.
Which is awesome. So I bet it. I think I don't know about your work, but I think underwater FlyZone you've gotten into a better rhythm. I think you've figured out how to balance everything that you want to do. And not to call it out, other than the podcast, which I would say if you have 3 branches, speaking, clothing, podcast, even though it's what started it absolutely should be the 3rd priority of those 3. The
podcast?
Yeah, absolutely. And the other 2 you are killing it. I feel like from an outside perspective, you have a great system. Like that is the way it should go. Mm-hmm. So I think that 9.8 is awesome.
Well, and also as bad as our system was with that sellout on Saturday, everyone's already got their stuff and it's Wednesday. Yeah. So and I see other clothing brands, not calling anybody out. I don't even know the owners of this brand, so they're not gonna watch this. Any of my homies, y'all do a good job, but there's a couple brands that are kind of viral on Instagram. Mm-hmm. You go to their comments, every comment, "Where's my order, bro? It's been 3 months. Yeah. It's been 2 months."
Like that's bad.
I'm like, y'all are giving me a bad rep.
Like even if you had an issue, you wouldn't do another drop till you got that.
Oh
result.
My gosh, no, I wouldn't even think of that.
Yeah, like you wouldn't think about what's my next drop. You're gonna say, how can I make this happen?
Granted, a lot of those people are operating on a much bigger scale. So like for what we do is all like done by hand, which they might operate on a bigger scale, but that's the thing about a bigger scale. You got to be ready for that, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like we're getting more ready for that. And like this Saturday taught us so much. So anyways, that's a whole rant.
And then the last one, overall life satisfaction. Today I said 9.5, then still didn't answer. But at some point, I think I was going to rate the podcast out of 10. So that's good. I gave that number. I forgot the other 2, but I was going to rate the podcast for some reason.
I rate this one better.
Yeah, probably. But I'll be honest, maybe just because we're in the moment. Like I'm having a great time. Yeah. Like I would agree, but maybe it's just because in this moment I'm really
it's probably like the same. Like
I'll be honest. They both might suck. You know, like
let
this.
us know, by the way.
Yeah, please genuinely tell me if it's not good because as you heard, I might do all of these one day. Yeah. So if this is bad, and you don't say it now, you're signing it up to always be bad.
Yeah,
and we can't do that.
Good point.
But you today were 9.5 as well. At that time you were an 8, so you're moving up. And I don't know if I made that a bias because I basically forced you to choose a high number when I told you better be satisfied.
No, I think it was legit. I would have told you.
Because at that time, I think you said you're like, merch is going great. I'm doing good speaking events. I'd like to do a few more, and you're doing a few more. So like, I think that's a pretty accurate raise.
Yeah.
Like you were at a good spot, but you're now at a 1.5 higher and almost a 10 better.
I think all of that's very accurate.
I think it's really interesting. A lot of that, I mean, I heard bits and pieces I was scrolling through, but a lot of that's like my recall. Mm-hmm. But I think that was a pretty accurate representation of the jump as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think this was fun.
I think it was a good time.
Rate the
4.
4. Honest? Yeah. Wait, for real?
No.
I was gonna say
in the moment I enjoy it, but I also think there's a certain amount of self-reflection. Like,
oh yeah,
I've known you. I was talking to Carson about this. I met you guys when I was probably somewhere from 5 to 7 years old. Probably, let's say 6 for an even number.
6 or 7.
I turned 24 next month, which means I've known you for almost an adult child's life. Like I've known you for probably, it would probably be 18 years this fall. Because I think I met you guys first on a random basketball season. Mm-hmm. I think that was the first time we met you guys. So for almost 18 years. So this is just to really long-term friends talking. Like,
yeah, for sure.
it's just almost 2 decades of like friendship and communication and chemistry talking.
Yeah.
So it always feels fun for us because it's easy for us.
But
to
do
feel like
they
a good
actually care about
I
this stuff?
do
Yeah.
genuinely want people that are listening to this to comment if you enjoy this. I mean, you don't have to go in there and critique and like give us notes.
Or do. If you're listening to this part, you're a real one. So
Yeah,
let
absolutely.
us know the
but
real.
like if you're here, like you can say like, yeah, there's been better ones. Like that's fine. Like I don't need a note of like what we could have improved, but like genuinely tell us how you feel about these episodes with us, because if like other than like the fact our schedules are super busy, me and Foster would do this all the time just because it's fun for us to just take an hour or two to just hang out. But tell us like what, not just if you like it or not, but like what parts are enjoyable. Is it the parts where 20 minutes pass because we don't realize it because we get into a conversation? Is it the ideas we talk? Like what is also enjoyable if you like it?
So my next podcast season, my plan is to do a season about youth wellness, like literally a 10 episode, like old fashioned Underwater FlyZone season, a 10 episode drop every Monday type of thing. And so with that season approaching, here's kind of my thoughts behind it is, so the first episode, I just got booked to speak at a conference. It's going to be crazy, dude. It's in Omaha, Nebraska, 50 schools. And then they booked me for the afternoon session and they said, so they booked me to do my program, like my Underwater FlyZone, like not Underwater, Your Life is Worth Living presentation in the morning. And then they said, can you do our afternoon session? But we want to do a live podcast episode in front of all these people on stage.
That's so cool.
That'll be episode 1.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And
Can we do a bananas episode?
Dude.
That's youth wellness because it was
That's true.
Youth sports.
That's true. Well, I'm thinking like in terms of youth wellness, I want to do that. I want to do I want to do a wiffle ball one just
That's
because,
great.
you know, like that was huge for me. That I feel like that's big for everybody, you know, get out, find a leisure activity. That's what I'd call it. Sports. I want to do one about like drug abuse and like avoiding that.
Yeah.
Do one about eating healthy, do one about a big one is get off your freaking phone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm excited for that season.
It'll be dope.
That'll be a dope time.
I'm excited.
That'll be
And
sweet.
to kick it off with a live, I mean, I've done a
that's so
live
cool.
podcast. I've done a couple of them, but
I was at least one of them.
yeah. You were at the Kellen Overstreet one, right? That was
So
the best
cool.
one for sure.
So cool.
Dude, that will be so awesome.
That is
Can't
really
wait.
exciting.
Can't wait. But anyways, yeah, we'll definitely have to get you back on for that. But then after that, we'll just start running episodes.
Absolutely. Like I would love to make this a regular thing, but let's wait and see because they might hate me. Because I'm genuinely, I looked at the comments of the last one because I wanted to see people's numbers.
Yeah.
But like one, I've never asked for it, and maybe I do at the top of next episode. So like we get more.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like I am a huge self-critic, but I also like have gotten really good at receiving criticism in a healthy way and like in a way to grow. So I genuinely want to know.
here's my comparison. So this podcast once was hot. Like people listened to it. It was like we averaged like 100, 200, 300 plays at one point. Now it's like 50.
Yeah. And how many of those are making it to, I mean, it's not actually an hour 45. That's just how long we've been here. But like, how many people are making it to whatever time we're at
now? Granted, one of our most recent ones was our most viewed one almost ever.
That's
most
awesome.
viewed like actual real content, not the going to a gas station. That one is our most viewed, but that was a special thing. But yeah, basically the way I see it is it's like an old like store that used to be popping and now it's just like there.
Yeah.
It's like, is that thing closing down anytime soon? Are they gonna renovate that? That's like what the podcast is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hoping when we renovate it. And I think for us, you're right. We could sit here and talk all day, but is it entertaining for them?
Yeah.
I think
we could
find real topics. Like I think that's why I was thinking, why did I bring up the random podcast season? This is why. Because I actually have like a topic, like an actual theme, like an actual reason for recording other than just, well, I mean, we had a reason. We did our topics and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? If we can like dial in like this is our topic, let's research like 3 points. The way I design a talk, like my normal talk or the one about balance the other night, started off with a story that gets them locked in, and then 3 points. That's it, 3 points, and you expand on each point. So for me, it's like I tell, like the Kyle story, and then I talk about acceptance, then allowing yourself to feel emotions, and then like rebuilding your life. Like that's the talk. And it's like a 30-minute talk. And I go into it every time knowing that never know exactly what I'll say, but I know I just expand on these points, you know? So that's what we should do on here is just think of like, okay, here's the topic. Here's a story that relates to it. Here's like 3 key points we have to hit on, and then everything else is gonna be great.
That's what I did, and I workshopped a few of them, but like I've done a lot of podcasts. None of them were good. But I've had different.
No, SMP Perspective was pretty good.
SMP Perspective might have been my best. And that was my first one. That's
oh, really? I didn't know that.
But I had honestly, my favorite outline is one that I never really did, but it was I started every episode with my current obsession. Then I did a question of the pod. Oh, what was the third segment? Oh, it was a random thought of the day. And that might have been, the order might have been different. But I know the middle was the question because the random thought of the day was just I just think of random stuff.
Yeah.
Like just all the time. So I just started writing them in a notes page just to take. And then the question of the pod, which is kind of what I do on Wednesdays for Sunday driving. But I ask other people the question, then I talk about it. And that's fun. And then the current obsession just allowed me, I started getting into golf. Let me talk about golf because that's what I think about all the time. And so it was easy. And so stuff like that where it's an outline that you enjoy, but it gives structure. It gives people to know what they're coming into.
Yeah, true. Dude, when I listen to sports radio like every day driving in the roofing truck, and I love that they're like one word. What's one word to describe this? What's one word to describe that? Yeah, we should do segments. Wesley Horner years ago said, bro, you need to add some segments in there.
Let me tell you, if you ever have me be the host, there's gonna be segments.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
absolutely. Like opening,
Definitely.
You know what you're starting with, you know what you're ending with, and maybe there's a lot of conversation. But I've added segments to Sunday Driving Without Pressure, which is just my Wednesday's question of the week, Thursday's sports talk.
Yeah,
I just do that, and that's it. But
dude,
I need to do the question of the week on my drive home from here.
I asked it. Warmed up.
I need to ask it. Warm.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Okay. Dude, here's my thought. So I say the way we form it is like the first 20 minutes of the pod is like, what is that podcast about? What are we going to title this episode? We'll talk about, mental health or just something, what I'm saying? And then the rest of the pod is like the segments.
Yeah.
We just got to think of very good segments because some of the segments on sports
ones.
Yes. The sports radio segments, some of them suck. I'm not going to lie. Like like the morning show on 96.5 The Fan. I don't know if y'all listen to this. I skip your guys' show. I just can't. Like I just can't do it, bro. I just can't do it. It's like segments I just don't care about. Like, they were fun for a while, but
honestly, you can make it if we come up like you, not we.
Yeah.
I don't mean to overstep. You could come up with a list of ones that haven't like voted on. So then it's like what the community wants to hear.
No, you should come up with some too. Because here's the thing I will admit about me and about all of us. If you're a business owner, you just need to understand that you're not the best at everything. I have to wear so many hats, quote unquote hats. That's what they say. I have to be a photographer. I have to be a marketer. I have to be a deliverer of a great presentation and packing, shipping, purchasing, fulfillment. All of that I have to do. I'm not the best at all that. I pay a dude in Indonesia, like this logo right here, that was made by a guy in Indonesia. Like, I don't know how to make this stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. So like basically like find out what you're good at. What I'm good at is talking to people, being at a pop-up, being on a basketball court with 1,000 kids.
Yeah.
I'm good at that. Am I good at outbound marketing? No. So Speak Hive, just got them involved.
Yeah.
Am I good at making logos? No. Am I good at making segments for a podcast? Maybe. I've never really tried to be good at that, but I'm sure you'd be better than me. So get creative with it. I mean, I'm open for anything. And if anybody's still watching, which who is, but if you still are watching, get creative as well. Like I try to do everything through feedback. Like our merch drops is all based on feedback. That shirt right there, the black with the blue, that's Jack. I call it the Jack Fields tee because he's the one that said we should do one of our vintage black shirts with a powder blue print.
I like it.
It became one of our best sellers.
It looks really nice.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's like I'm not gonna be sitting over here thinking I'm the best at everything ever. No, I'm not the best at probably anything. But if you delegate right, bring people in, I might be one of the best speakers. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe.
Yeah. Listen to his wedding vows if you want proof.
No, that was not the best.
It was very Foster.
I was just crying a lot.
No, it was fantastic.
I was crying a lot during that wedding vow. My tennis speech was very rough, but it was. I think that was one of my first moments where I was like, I can yap.
At least you got to give one.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's tough. Hey, we're still the best team in Ray-Peck history.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Is that true? Is that still true?
I've heard it is.
Nice.
I met a kid.
I genuinely think we had a chance at it.
This kid came up to the pop-up. He was like, he had Ray-Peck tennis. I was like, you play tennis? He was like, yeah. Coach Howard says your team is still the most winning team. I was
that
like,
was a really good team. I was almost on it. It's just one off. Just one away. I supported it.
Were we really that good? I don't know. Because none of us made it to past this race. Wesley almost did.
Hey,
and I brought that
Jace
up in
played
that
in college. And Jace is the only one I know of that
Macy's calling me.
Played in college.
Yeah.
Like before or after. John Michael never. I know he went. I didn't hear of him play.
Yeah. And then, Wesley, remember I brought that up at the talk? I was like, Wesley, it was so fun watching you almost win.
Oh,
he was
that was messed up.
Bro, I didn't mean it in a bad way. I genuinely meant.
Yeah, you're like, I saw you almost do the thing that we all dream about our whole lives doing, but then you didn't.
Yeah. But I meant it, though. I was so proud because, dude, we're just yapping, but I went to tennis because my cousin Kenny said, I played tennis. I'll come play again my senior year. I was a freshman. I go to the practice. He said, "Oh yeah, never mind. I'm not playing." So I was like, "Okay, I'm never coming back here." Well, the next day I was talking to Wesley and I was like, "Yeah, I went to tennis last night. I have my stuff. I don't know if I want to go again." And he was like, "I'll go with you. I can't tonight. I'll come on Wednesday." And I said, "Okay, if you actually come Wednesday, I'll commit." Well, the rest is history.
Yeah.
And
You're the reason I started. You didn't convince me. At least me. I don't. Probably Jace, maybe Drew. But like, I know for sure I only went because you were like, "Hey, come try it out." I was like, "Okay," and like, I probably would have done track. I was like decently fast. And it was tennis. I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I'm glad we all did that. We kind of took that program and was just like,
it became our little bubble.
It did, dude. It really did.
Yeah.
I love talking about this stuff because this is something I don't think about on a day to day.
Yeah.
We should have Jace on again. We had him on one time.
We can do a follow-up. We did a pre-wedding one last year with all of us, the week before my wedding.
Yeah.
And now we've both, eventually. But that'd be a fun one to follow up on to compare as well.
Yeah. Anyways.
I'll be honest. I'm getting a little hungry.
Hey, comment, subscribe. Give us a 5-star review if you're on Spotify. And if you listen this far, YLIWL, all caps, number 26, free shipping code. Help us move some of this merch. We have no room to walk in here. So let's go, baby. Hit the website, and we'll catch y'all eventually.
See y'all next time.
Peace. Dude, we should do a tennis episode.
That'd be fun.
Bananas episode.
We got a lot of options. Bananas, dude, I don't know if he